Hello students, welcome to Math&Magic. For this video, we're going to solve infinitely nested radical. Basically, this is a radical written in the form the square root of everything inside, a sub 1 plus the square root of everything inside, a sub 2 plus the square root of everything inside, a sub 3 plus and so on and so forth. Also take note that this radical can only be evaluated if its terms form a pattern or a sequence. Let's say for example, you are asked to evaluate the infinite nested radical, the square root of everything inside, 2 plus the square root of everything inside, 2 plus and so on and so forth. Here we first need to equate the radical expression by any variable, let's say x. Next, get the square of both sides. We will have x squared equals 2 plus the square root of everything inside, 2 plus the square root of everything inside, 2 plus and so on and so forth. Here notice that the second term on the right side of our equation is equivalent to our original infinitely nested radical. Hence, we can now say that that is also equivalent to x. This brings now our equation into x squared equals 2 plus x, which is a quadratic equation. Writing this in standard form, x squared, transposing positive x will have negative x. The positive 2 will now become negative 2, then equating it by 0. Now, solving for quadratic equation, we can use different methods like factoring, completing the square, or quadratic formula. Looking at this equation, I think it's more practical to use factoring. So getting the factor of our quadratic expression on the left side, we will have the factors quantity x minus 2 and quantity x plus 1. Now using the zero product property, equating both factors by 0, we'll have x minus 2 equals 0 and x plus 1 equals 0. This brings now the values of x of positive 2 and negative 1. Now also take into notice that the original radical contains a positive radicand. So in this case, we need to take the positive root or the principal root. The negative root now will become the extraneous solution. The value now of the infinite nested radical, the square root of everything inside, 2 plus and so on and so forth, is equivalent to positive 2. Another example, find the value of the infinite nested radical, the square root of everything inside, 30 plus the square root of everything inside, 30 plus the square root of everything inside, 30 plus and so on and so forth. Doing the same process, we need to equate this infinitely nested radical by a variable. Let's say in this case, we will use the variable y. So that would become y equals the square root of the infinitely nested radical term. Next, getting the square of both sides, we'll have y squared equals positive 30 plus the infinitely nested radical. Notice that the second term on the right side of our equation brings back the original radical. So we can substitute it by the variable y. Our equation now will become y squared equals 30 plus y. Rewriting them into standard quadratic equation, we'll have y squared minus y minus 30 equals 0. Getting the factor of the left side of this equation, we'll have quantity y minus 6 and quantity y plus 5. Using zero product property or equating both factors by 0, we have y minus 6 equals 0 and y plus 5 equals 0. This now brings the values of y of positive 6 and negative 5. Hence, the negative 5 value is also an extraneous solution, so we will only take the positive 6. The value now of the infinite nested radical, square root of everything inside 30, plus the square root of everything inside 30, plus and so on and so forth is positive 6. Thank you for watching. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. God bless.